Good morning, friends. It is Christopher here, and bright and squirrely, about 3:30 in the morning. Got a run coming up. Obviously, training for the 50-mile ultra marathon in November, raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I'm not quite awake yet, but I wanted to make a video real quickly because I wanted to get it out to you guys early today because we need to be paying attention. We need to be ready to move. And as I've mentioned in a previous video, there's a lot of things that I'm paying attention to. Optimally, in a perfect world, we could time things where all these trend lines converge and we would be able to compound compounding effects for maximum impact. But the reality is we're all imperfect. It's an imperfect world, and we're going to miss the mark to some extent. Now, where we exactly miss the mark from, I guess, like the perfect ideal launch, how we deviate from that is going to impact how our launch goes. Some aspects of a perfect launch are more important than other aspects of a perfect launch, and I'm still, I guess, working through the calculus on how to make that determination, right? But as I've mentioned, and let me just pause real quick. One of the key aspects to a good launch is having a little bit of a community buzz beforehand. And I had mentioned in Facebook, I was kind of doing some math, and the Telegram group, if we can get this to 200 members before launch, I'm very confident that we can shoot up to Radium in an hour or two and hit that 70-some thousand dollar market cap, quickly getting up to a six-figure market cap. Whole bunch of eyeballs, whole bunch of people. I really, that would make me feel very confident about the launch if we could have 200 members in the Telegram group, and we're currently at about 11. So we've got a little bit of progress, a little over 5%. But I say that to say this. What Solana does, because that is the blockchain that we launch on, is very, very important to the success of our project. So Solana, the video I made a few days ago, Solana's price was around $140 to $143, and I talked about the price is going to go up. I've been talking about this bull run in the crypto market, and that's what we're ultimately trying to ride, right? There's a crypto wave that is happening, and we want to hop on our surfboard and hang 10, right? So we have to time this correctly. We're not going to time it perfectly, but what I'm starting to see is we really, really, really need to do this sooner than later. So I've put up a bunch of links for like how to get a Phantom wallet and everything like that. I know there's some trepidation, if you will, as far as just being a little bit worried. It's a new tech space, and a lot of us haven't done this before, and so there's just some hesitation. I don't want to mess anything up. It's really, really much easier to get set up than you might think it is. All of us have set up accounts on many different websites over the years. Pretty much all of us use online banking. Those things, it's basically the exact same as far as getting set up in order to trade crypto. You just have to create some accounts and do some online banking type transactions. So I don't want to make it seem overly complicated, and I want to ease some of your concerns as far as getting set up with this, because it's really just a matter of going, search up a Phantom wallet, set up that account. Once you create your Phantom wallet, you're going to have to put money onto the Phantom wallet, which means you're going to be using something like Coinbase, or you're going to be using MoonPay, which is, again, it's a straightforward process. It walks you through it. You get that set up, you put the Solana onto the Phantom wallet. Once you have the Phantom wallet, I had the video where I explained how you can buy the tokens on launch. We're going to, we're going to have the Facebook Live event on launch so that we're all communicating with each other. Two, the contract address will be shared with the Telegram group before it is made public so that everybody can be ready to go. We launch, everybody's got the contract address ready to buy their tokens, right? I want to make sure that everybody knows how to do this and that we're ready to go, because again, we need to be ready to go. Solana has gone up in price almost 10% since the video I made several days ago. Now, does that mean that the price is going to keep going up and it's not going to go down? Of course not. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to play around a little bit with, let's see if I've got that up here. Okay, so this is the the 1 month chart for Solana. So I wanted to just show you a little bit of how I kind of think about things. So let's go with a blue line here. This should be probably good enough to see it. So there's a few things that I see when I look at this 1 month pattern, right? So one thing that I see, that's kind of a weird place to put it, but oh, this isn't just a straight line, I guess. Okay. So one thing is we're seeing this, right? This one's maybe not in the best spot. So we're seeing kind of these two trend lines. And you're like, okay, well, this looks maybe like a downward pattern. I don't know why you're excited about this project. Now, we'll take a quick step back. This is a technical indicator, this chart. The fundamentals of Solana, which I guess I should have pulled up, but feel free to do your own Google searches. The amount of concurrent users, new users, the amount of activity that Solana has on its blockchain in particular. I mean, they've got really affordable fees. They've got a lot of good things. They're kind of the home of the meme coin. A lot of their fundamental indicators are much stronger than what their technical indicators are showing, right? So again, maybe I could just throw a layer on here to do this a little bit better. So let's make this a 10, and then it's not quite as insane. Okay, so just doing some rough lines here, right? So we've got this little trend is what we're looking at. But then what you notice is, let's maybe go purple here. This forms our classic double bottom W pattern, right? Now, this pattern, this double bottom, this W, you'll see this all the time. You'll also see the inverse of this. You'll see an M, a double top pattern. Now, this double bottom, this bounce, bounce, generally what happens is this is a breakout pattern. What that means is this chart, let's take the canvas, let's just add 1300. Let's do something like this. Oops, wrong way. Let's do this. Okay, so just make sure I'm not in a weird spot. Still looking good. Okay, cool. So what we will then see with everything moving, again with this double chart pattern, is we're looking at breaking out of this resistance level. So this is our support line, and this is our resistance line. And so, again, it's too early in the morning for me to be making these videos, but this is a pattern that you'll see over and over and over again when you look at charts. And generally, what this pattern indicates is that we are about to break through a resistance level. Now, if we follow on this trend line, and let me go back to the actual chart here. So when we pull out, what I see, what I'm thinking, so we zoom out a little bit further from the 1 month and we look at a 3 month. And again, if you kind of visualize these same type of trend lines and we break out, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 as a next support level that we're going to be shooting for. So ultimately, before the end of 2025, I believe Solana is going to be closer to $300 than $150. When exactly we start really running up there, I don't know. How that movement goes, I don't know. It's obviously going to be a ride, right? There's going to be some ups and some downs to it. But I believe we are on the breakout to a 200 price point sooner rather than later. And then there's going to be some, sideways action, up, downs, as we kind of, the market finds its support and then ultimately pumps higher. But I say this to say this, we need to be ready to move. So if you are having any struggles, if you're having any questions, if anything's not quite clicking for you, hit me up, let me know. Maybe I'm sure some of you guys are talking as well. That I'm, conversations that I'm not a part of, which is awesome. That's how this all works. It's a decentralized, autonomous organization. That means, although I started it and I'm kind of steering the ship, I'm not in charge, right? Ultimately, when the token gets launched, as I've mentioned, as the developer, my hands are kind of tied. I'm going to buy into the project initially for 1 to 2 Solana. Okay, so about $150 to $300, depending on what the market looks like. Those are the only tokens I will ever own of the Panda Dragon project. Now, the reason that's okay with me that I'm not going to be the one who makes the most money off of the Panda Dragon project is because I have other projects cooking, right, that are going to be launched on the coattails of the Panda Dragon. Because as we it's like driving down the highway, right? If you, or you could look at like racing and NASCAR, or any racing in general, but drifting. So, or drafting, excuse me. So if you're driving on the highway and you have the semi in front of you blocking all that air, you can drastically increase your gas mileage by riding behind them. Okay, because they're taking on all of this friction, and you're in a more, you're like in a wind tunnel type of situation. So that's what we're trying to set up, is this frictionless environment. Losing my train of thought. I need to just go for a run here and get my get my day started, I think. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I got this information out there bright and early for you guys. So anyway, I appreciate you as always. We'll talk soon. I'll probably do a little update video on the progress of the ultra training so far as well today. Anyway, I'm rambling per usual. Wow. Peace.